Alrighty then. Howdy, ladies and germs. Welcome back to the Silverback Diaries. Today is, I think, the 92nd day of the bulk, the thickening, as we're calling it, as my coach so creatively came up with. Today is a chest-focused push day, and I'm pretty excited about that. I'm going to be honest with you, I am so tired right now. I got up at 5:30. Damn, that's cold. I got up at like 5:30, and many of you who are watching are like, "Yeah, it's not that bad." And you're right. I'm a bit of a bitch, but that's early for me. But anyway, I got up and I had to do a bunch of work. I got that project turned in. The FCR, the final construction record, is all done. The two outstanding items are a change order for project overruns and the final funding request / estimate, etc. But in terms of turning it in to the district review office, I'm good to go. And that's pretty cool. So that headache is gone and done. Cool. Orange Ram. Yeah. The current thought experiment I'm like digging into is like I've talked about, is this Ranger is making it 4-wheel drive, and switching from coil spring to torsion bar suspension is not really an option. Like the frames are just not compatible. It's not a simple. It's not. I mean, it's doable if you're gonna like weld and fabricate the entire thing, but other than that, it's not. So the option is a single axle swap. There's two ways to do that. You can either find one that's like pretty much bolt-on friendly, which is the early Broncos, the 60 something through 77, like the first gen Broncos. Those have a Dana 44 front that is the exact same width, bolt locations, spring cups, everything as a Ranger, a second or third gen Ranger. I guess they're side, like underneath that, you can use any Dana 44, preferably a Ford one because they have a high pinion, which is just better. Ford makes good axles, they always have, or they buy good axles. I don't know. High pinion is better than low pinion when it comes to front axles. Anyway. Oh yeah, and on the Broncos, you don't have to change the gearing. They're already geared. This is a 373 gear. The Broncos a 373 front, so you don't have to change out any gears, which is cool. Other option is any Dana 44, but preferably a Ford. But if you get one of those, the spring cups are about 2 inches further out, so you have to either weld or bolt. Where the hell's third gear? There it is. You have to weld or bolt the these like spring bucket or cup adapters that let your spring sit 2 inches further out. Everything else is fairly bolt-on. You'll need to get some custom radius arms and stuff, and then you can also use like a Dana 30 off of a Jeep. It's not as strong, but it's it's perfectly suitable for like, a daily driver. But that you have to like remove like the V wedges on it. You still need spring cup adapters. It's just kind of a pain. And then the other option is you can just use basically any axle you want. You'll still need to do like the spring cups and stuff, but you won't need to do the spring cups if you switch to a leaf spring suspension. And what that involves is attaching leaves to your frame rails, welding a stiffening plate onto said frame rails, because 98 to 3rd gen Rangers have a crumple zone, whereas like first and second gen Rangers didn't. So you need to stiffen it with a plate before you run like any sort of suspension gear or any sort of axle swap. But you put leaves on, and then you can run pretty much any front axle you want. I mean, shit, you could run a Dana 60 if you want. It'd be totally overkill, and your front end would probably be tougher than your rear end at that point. But you could. But then you can just... So those are the things I'm looking into. The best and easiest way to do it is to do the thing that's one-to-one compatible, which is an early Bronco Dana 44. Finding one of those, though, not easy, easier said than done. They used to be everywhere, and now they're not. Like a lot of things, I guess. Okay, but even so, like, it's still kind of a complex thing, because then after that, even once you get the solid axle swap, you still need to get a transfer case and a front diff, or a front drive shaft. And what's nice is on like the Ford, on the Broncos, the front drive shaft fits straight out of a Ranger. You can just take the one off. I think it's like a BM 1364 is the name of transfer case, but the front drive shaft will fit right onto that front end. With other ones, you have to get a custom drive shaft or a universal joint. So, oh yeah, and if you don't use the early Bronco, it's probably going to be a different gear, probably like 430s or something, or like 477, so you have to re-gear it. Again, not that much of a problem, but it's still more work and more stuff to buy. But anyway, that's my thought experiment. That's what I'm kind of thinking about. It'd be cool. It's been done before. It's pretty complex, and people say it's not worth it. You're better off just like buying a four-wheel drive Ranger. But people said that about installing AC in a non-factory AC vehicle. I think that people in general are just afraid to get their hands dirty and turn a wrench for 8 hours, you know? Like, maybe there's different definitions of worth it. I say if I can do it for like $1,000 and have this vehicle be four-wheel drive, which I know has a fantastic motor, a fantastic transmission, it's built like a tank, that's a hell of a lot cheaper than going out and buying a $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 four-wheel drive Ranger. You know what I'm saying? Regardless. Anyway, but chest day is today. I took a few days off. Wednesday? Whatever. 2 days ago I took off because that was my scheduled rest day. The day after I took off because, once again, I got up super early, like 5 in the morning. And after work, I came home and I just fell asleep on the couch. And when I woke up, it was like 4 o'clock. And I'm like, well, shit, I guess I'm not lifting today. And I could. Like I could, you know. I could have, excuse me. But I have other commitments, you know. I have a fiance that I really like spending time with, you know. And she didn't want to go to the gym. And so I wanted to spend time with her, and that's the way it works out. There's a good life balance. One single aspect of your life, as a rule, shouldn't necessarily control every other aspect of your life. Like, for example, if you have a job that is 100 hours a week, that is the only thing that you can do, right? And maybe during, if you're a farmer, during like peak harvest, planting, if you're some other job that has long hours, right? If it's temporary, that's fine. But if, oh my goodness, if that's your entire life is 100-hour weeks and you don't have any time to see family, see friends, or you just get up, shower, go to work, come back, whatever, it ain't doable in the long run. And Similarly, you shouldn't let. Um, I mean, if you love to do it, that's a different story. If you have, that's why I said as a rule. There are exceptions. If you have some sort of savant level autism focus on something, and that's what you really love and enjoy, and that's what you desire and wish to be spending all of your time doing, then more power to you. Just you might get burnt out. Everything in moderation. Similarly, you can't let things like the gym, video games, relaxation, spending time with family and friends, you can't let that control your entire life either. If we all lived the way where if we just did what we wanted to all the time, there's a word for that, it's called decadence, and it's not good. You become lazy, you become self-involved, and ironically, you become depressed as a rule. You get everything you want, and suddenly you're not happy anymore. Funny how life works like that. So, but that's just my point there is balance in everything, right? And so the balance for me this week was taking an extra day off. It's not going to kill me. And to be honest, even yesterday my hamstrings were still screaming at me, God, what have you done? So. But it's chest, and I'm looking forward to it because these chest days, like the chest focused push days for me, have been tearing me up. I've been so sore, like the last 2 or 3 times I've hit one of these, just mind-numbingly crushing, like to the point where I'm doing back day and I'm like, I'm not even like firing my pecs that much, and they're burning like crazy. So I'm making progress too. It might not show in my little pose downs that I do at the end of the video, but when I look at myself and I measure, I'm like, damn, my chest is growing. My delts are getting bigger. My lats are popping out, and that's cool, pretty cool. You can probably tell my lats are developing. Like I'm getting a lot more of that frame that I'm looking for. I want those like bulbous, expanded wingspan lats though, but we're working on it. Might get there. I don't really know. I don't see it happening. Me going pro this year. It's possible, but I don't see it happening. But I might be able to. I will be able to get on the stage out there, see what's going on, see how I'm doing, get some feedback, etc. And you never know. Maybe. But in the meantime, I think we got some incline Smith, followed by some flat dumbbell, followed by some dumbbell flies, because that's my favorite kind of fly variation right now. For a while, I was like a pec deck guy, and then I was a cable fly guy, but right now I'm really digging the dumbbell flies. I can't explain it. So then that, and then some pullovers, and then if I got the go, the gusto, the juice for it, hit some triceps. And right? I think so. Yeah. But that'll about do it for my spiel. Let me know in the comments if you want some questions answered. I do read every single comment. I try to respond to the ones that warrant a response. If it's just like, hey man, nice video, I'll send you a thumbs up and I'll give you a heart, but I won't necessarily respond. I usually do though. But any questions, comments, concerns, if you got any sort of questions about cars or lifting or nutrition or general life advice, give me a shout. I'll do what I can for you. But anyway, I will see you guys in, I'm going to wager 10 minutes. Alright, so this is just to prove the haters and the naysayers wrong. I do calves, alright? I do them. I got 3.5 plates on here, 320. So here's video evidence that I do indeed hit calves. shoes are coming off. Oh, there. And I got 2 more of those, so that's proof. I'm in a lot of pain. I usually don't actually go this heavy. So, there you go. Yes. Owie. Doing chest, but I'm getting some calf work in because I've been neglecting it for the last 2 weeks. And now I feel it. Yeah, it burns. It'll be good tomorrow, I think. Okay. Lovely. All right, so, well, you know, ain't no way to do it but to do it. I have 245 on here, because I got 240 last time. So, time to muscle bob buff pants hit this. Let's go. I'm a jerk. Okay. Not bad. Pacing was a little fast, but not bad. All right. I'm gonna try not to arch as much. I was arching pretty bad on the last set. So let's see if I can avoid that. All right, we're gonna call it an 8 there. I don't think I had 10 in me on that set. All right, I dropped down 240. Only 5 pounds, but I'm hoping that the mental gives me the strength. Yeah. I also was doing better reps. Like, those were really clean reps in the last set, so I don't feel bad about only getting 8. So, whatever. Okay. Once again, 8. All right. Last one. I don't know how many we're going to get, But I'll try to go clean on these as well, because I've been pretty good about form today. You're killing me, killing me. Or maybe I should go quickly to get more reps. I don't know. I'm going to do what I'm going to do is what I'm going to do. Easier when it's over, boys. Okay, hang on a second. That was messed up. Okay, we're gonna do nothing. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hit failure at like 3 reps. All right, it happens. All right, flat dumbbell, and we are looking at I'm gonna be going light, like super light. So I think like even 75s or 8. I'll start with 80s, all right, and we're looking for 12. Okay, so there's 3 kinds of dumbbells here. There's standard metal hex, and then there's the round ones. Those 100s and the 80s, as it turns out, are the round ones. And decided those dumbbells are horrible. They're cursed, because every time I use them, I get hurt. So I'm either gonna do. I think I'll start with 85s, right? Because I'm not using damn round dumbbells, all right? Yeah. Okay. Woo. Here we go. Okay, that was too easy. Alright, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna go up in weight because that was too easy. I'm not doing the damn 100s though. These freaking things are cursed. So I'm gonna do 90s, I think. I kind of tweaked my left lat on that incline Smith, so that's not feeling too pleasant. Which also sucks because I got back tomorrow. That'll be fine by then, though, I think. Ooh. Easy. All right, I'm feeling so strong. We got Rush playing. It's Tom Sawyer. That I'm gonna do the 105s because the 100s are cursed. We don't do the 100s, but the 105s are fine. So here we go. Although his mind is not for rent. The river. Yeah, come on. Close. Very close. All right. Dumbbell flies. 15 reps. I'll try the 40s. Here's what I mean. So this style of dumbbell, like these circular stacked weights, this doesn't really count because they're super light. But when these get heavy, what happens is like they tend to get dropped a lot, right? Because they're heavier. And there's these little bolts at the end that set all the weight, and they'll back out. And so they'll start to spin, and the plates will get loose, and it makes them just treacherous. That's the best word I can use for it. They become treacherous, and so easy to hurt yourself, as I've done. Here we go. Oh yeah, you can get a really good back crack when you do these right. He gets high on you, so you trade. He gets right on to the friction of the day. I went too heavy. Shoot. Okay, we will take it down to 35s. Oh man. Although I did do really heavy on the flat dumbbell, so no complaints. Whoo. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, damn it. That's only 10. Well, we're about fried on that, which is fine. Okay, so, I have rep and a half, a superset with tricep overheads. Ooh, better patter, ya boys. All right, I got a new PR weight on here if I get it, and I think I will. 137.5 pounds, looking for 15 reps. Better. Easy. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Whew. Told ya. Easy. All right, 0.5 rep. And we have, this says 150. I don't think I'm gonna hack that. So I'll do, it's set on 120 right now. Sounds plenty good to me. With the edge of my hand. Stand up next to a mountain. Voodoo child, yeah. Lord knows I'm a voodoo child. Where are you at? Come on. Every once in a while, just the right song plays, and you just want to get it. And today, that is Stevie Ray Vaughan. I might have shot my wad on the first frickin' shot. Went from 15 to 11. I'm just in the flow state right now, man. I'm just in the flow state, you know? Every once in a while, when you're lifting, that's where we are right now. Anyway, I switched from shooting 60 FPS to shooting 25. I don't think it makes a difference in the video quality, I gotta be honest with you. And it takes like a third of the time to render videos and upload them. So if you don't notice a difference, and if you're actually paying attention, let me know what you think. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna get all 12 here. I gotta be honest with you. But I'm gonna get what I can get. And yeah. You know, it's an underrated car, the Chrysler Crossfire. Okay, well, see, that was 9. We'll take it. You feeling better? All right, boys. I don't remember if I started with this or not. I don't even know what set I'm on. I gotta be honest. I think I started with this, though. So, finish strong. Nine again. All right, take it back down to 125 and see what we can do. Pardon. I'm so cooked. Ugh. Here comes the zone. All right, well, sometimes you get what you get. You know. Little pump check. Let me tell you, ladies and germs, I think it's gonna be a good one. Not too shabby. Good Lord. Absolutely insanity. That's pretty freaking gross. Dude, I feel so big right now. Okay. I could have so much fun with this, but I'm gonna head out. All right, one more. Okay, that'll do it.